Designing your sales screen, function or action buttons. Okay, so in the last video we learned how to make buttons that attach to products. We also learned how to make buttons that have more buttons behind them. So next we want to go back to the sales designer, and I'm going to show you function buttons. So these on the right hand side are function buttons. They are buttons that do something. Okay, so if we create a new button, for example, like this, let's say blue, move it here, we can press this button here and press add function. Alternatively, you can do it up there as well, insert function. Okay, so I'm going to go add function, and these are all the different functions you can make a button do. We are always adding more functions to this list all the time. If you have any ideas or suggestions of new features to make, what we do is we add them to this list, and then it's up to yourself to draw that in the place that you feel most appropriate. That way you don't come in and see massive changes all the time with each new version. Okay, so if we find one here, so you can scroll up and down the list, or alternatively you've got a little search box here. So we could say, for example, web page. Okay, and there's one function there, open web page. You'll notice it says contains variables true, and indeed it does at the bottom. Okay, so down here we would click here and say, what web page do you want to go to? Alright, so I'll say https www.google.com. When we press tick, that button will now do open web page, and this is the web page it's going to open. Okay, our job now should be to click display text and tell the user what this button does. So you could say open Google, enter. That button has a different font than the rest, so I'm going to right click that and say set font, and then lower it down a bit to say 14, maybe 12 I think it is. Okay, if we close that and click sales mode, let's just void these off there like that. If we press open Google like this, oh, it's on a different screen, I'll just bring it up here. It opens up the Google web page. Now the great thing about this is it has no URL bar. So if this was your manufacturer's or your own website or anything like that, you could allow staff to go to a manufacturer's or web page or your own website, and as long as there isn't any links to anywhere else outside of that website, it's quite secure and safe to give them access to. Okay, so that's one example thing you could do. If we go to Sales Designer again, let's see what else we could do. So we'll create a new button like this. There we go. And we'll click on add function again. And again, let's just look through some of these then that you might find useful. So some of them have optional variables as well. Okay, so if we, for example, typed in percentage, you could say apply cart percentage discount. There's always a description at the bottom as to what the function does. So if I leave that blank, in this case, it's going to ask us what percentage should we apply to the cart as a discount. But if I click it and put 10 in like this, so if I press tick, it's now going to give a 10% discount. So I'm going to click apply 10% discount. Like that. If I go to layout tree, you can see all the different, it's a great way of being able to jump between different pages quickly. If we click on functions, you can see here that if you click on percentage discount, we've already put one in on the starter template, but it doesn't have the 10% on. So we've actually got this function listed twice. So for example, let's put some objects in that we did earlier. £6. If I click on functions and click percentage discount, it asks us what percentage do we want to give, and also a reason. Click it again and it switches off. If you use this one, it doesn't ask for a reason, and it applies 10% immediately. So you would have to have another button here that switches it back off. There are a lot of functions in the list here, so I would advise going through a lot of them. I'll show you one more that you might find useful. If we go to, let's create a new button like this, and what we can do is we can go add function, and I'm just going to put a search in for jump to page. And if we say jump there, put what variable, and if we choose, say, that one, tick, press tick again, jump to a page 3 levels deep. You can make it jump straight to any other page within the system or template. So for example, if I press menu 1, more options, that's what, or I think it's on the next page, that's how many clicks I had to click to get there. But if I press that one, I can jump straight to it. You can also put ones in here so you can jump around wherever you want. So you don't have to press a button 3 times and then press back to get to another one. You can jump straight to one page level to another. You don't have to follow the hierarchy. Again, have a look around and have a look through all those different functions, and some of them you may find quite useful.